Hello and welcome to the Learn English Lab. I'm Mike, and we're going deep today into some vocabulary that's really important for talking about health and fitness in English.
It really is. If you're chatting with your friends about your workout routine,
Right.
or maybe even just trying to understand a health article, having a solid grasp of these words
For sure.
can really make all the difference.
I think so too. And to help us make sense of all these words, we've got Sarah joining us.
Hi.
She's great at taking complicated ideas and making them really clear.
Well, thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay.
Yeah, let's jump right in.
Let's jump in. One of the first things I noticed was just how much emphasis there is on overall well-being
Yeah,
and not just physical health.
it's true. Well-being, it's such a holistic idea. It means not just your physical health, but your mental and emotional state, too.
Okay.
So it's about feeling good in every part of your life.
That's a really good point. I like that.
Yeah.
How would you use that word, like in a casual conversation?
You could say something like, I've been focusing on my well-being lately by getting more sleep and eating healthier.
Okay.
Or, yoga really improves my sense of well-being. I always feel so much more relaxed and centered afterward.
Yeah, those are really good examples.
Yeah.
It seems like well-being is kind of this like wider term for taking care of yourself.
Exactly, and a lot of that comes down to your lifestyle.
Yeah.
The choices you make each day that add up to your overall health.
Okay, lifestyle. That's another one we hear all the time.
We do.
But what are some specific examples of how that connects to health and fitness?
Well, your lifestyle includes your diet, your exercise habits, your sleep patterns, even how you manage stress.
Right.
It's about those daily actions that really impact your well-being over time.
So it's not just about like going to the gym 3 times a week.
Right.
It's about building a whole way of life that supports good health.
Precisely. It's about making those choices that nourish your body and mind.
Okay, now that makes me think of another word I keep seeing, immunity.
Yes.
Everyone always talks about boosting their immunity.
Right.
But what does that actually mean?
So immunity is all about your body's ability to fight off infections and diseases.
Okay.
It's like having this powerful defense system that's protecting you from getting sick.
So when people talk about boosting their immunity, they're basically trying to strengthen that defense system.
You got it. And there are so many ways to do that, from eating nutritious foods to getting enough sleep and managing stress.
I've even heard that laughter can boost your immunity.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe we should all be watching more comedies.
I am all for that. Laughter's definitely good medicine.
Okay, so we've covered well-being, lifestyle, and immunity.
Yeah,
Those are some pretty strong foundations for talking about health in English.
they are, and they all tie together beautifully.
Yeah,
Your lifestyle choices directly impact your well-being and your immunity.
right.
It's all interconnected.
I really like how you're making those connections for us.
Of course.
Now I'm ready to get into the specifics of fitness vocabulary.
Okay.
I'm seeing terms like warm up and cool down.
Yeah.
Those seem pretty basic.
Yeah.
But I bet some of our listeners are wondering about like the best ways to do them.
Oh, I bet you're right. These are essential parts of any workout. A warm-up, it gets your body ready for exercise.
Right.
It gradually increases your heart rate and blood flow to your muscles.
Okay.
Think of it as gently waking up your body before you push it harder.
So you're not just jumping into some really difficult exercise.
Right.
You're easing into it.
Exactly. Light cardio, like jogging in place or jumping jacks,
Yeah.
some dynamic stretches.
Okay.
Those are great ways to warm up.
And what about cool down?
So cool down.
Is that just stretching?
It's about stretching, but it's also about gradually slowing down your heart rate and allowing your body to recover.
Got it.
Walking for a few minutes after a run
Okay.
or giving some gentle yoga poses can help prevent muscle soreness and promote relaxation.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like you're letting your body unwind
Exactly.
after all that work.
And speaking of effort, let's talk about different types of exercise.
Okay.
One distinction that often comes up is aerobic versus anaerobic exercise.
Ooh, those sound a bit more technical.
Yeah, a little bit.
Could you explain those to us?
Of course, aerobic exercise involves sustained activity that gets your heart rate up and keeps it there for an extended period.
Okay.
Think running, swimming, or cycling.
Yeah.
These activities help improve your cardiovascular health and endurance.
So if I'm training for a marathon, I'd want to focus on aerobic exercise.
Absolutely. And how would you explain that to your running buddy in English?
I might say, hey, let's go for a long run today to build up our aerobic fitness for the marathon.
Perfect. Now, anaerobic exercise, on the other hand, involves short bursts of intense activity.
Okay.
Think sprinting or weightlifting.
Right.
These activities help build muscle mass and strength.
So if I'm trying to get toned muscles, I should add in some anaerobic exercise to my routine.
Exactly. You could tell your gym buddy, I'm going to hit the weights today for some anaerobic training.
I'm starting to feel like a fitness expert already.
I love it.
But let's be honest, no conversation about health and fitness is complete without talking about food.
You're absolutely right.
Right.
I think it's a good time to move on to some vocabulary related to diet and nutrition.
Sounds good to me. I'm ready to get my English vocabulary in shape.
Me too. Let's dig in. Okay, so let's talk about food.
Yes, food. I am always hearing about a balanced diet.
Yes.
But what does that really mean?
Well, balanced diet means giving your body the right mix of nutrients it needs to work its best.
Okay.
That means having a variety of foods from different food groups like fruits and veggies and lean proteins, whole grains, healthy fats.
Okay, so it's not about like cutting out
No.
entire food groups or following some really restrictive fad diet?
No, not at all.
Okay.
It's about making sure that you're getting enough of everything that your body needs.
Right.
You can think about it like building a colorful plate with lots of different foods.
Oh, I like that visual.
Yeah.
Now, I know calories are often part of this discussion.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, I'm not always sure what those represent.
Calories are basically units of energy that
Uh-huh.
we find in food.
Okay,
Your body needs calories to be able to do everything that it needs to do,
got it.
from breathing to exercising.
So when people are counting calories, they're really just keeping track of
Yes,
how much energy they're taking in.
exactly. And it's important to find a balance between those calories that you're eating and the calories that you're burning.
Okay, that makes sense. Now let's talk about those tempting treats
Yes.
that I think we all love.
Yes.
Junk food.
Yes.
How would you define that in English?
So junk food usually means processed foods
Okay,
that are high in calories, sugar, unhealthy fats, and salt, but they're not very nutritious.
right.
They might taste good in the moment,
Yes.
but they don't give you the nutrients that you need to be really healthy.
Okay, so things like chips and candy and fast food would be junk food.
Exactly. Those are perfect examples.
Okay.
And in contrast, we have healthy food,
Okay.
which includes whole unprocessed foods that are packed with nutrients.
Okay.
So think fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins.
So it's all about making smart choices and giving our bodies
Yeah.
the good stuff.
Exactly. And speaking of fueling our bodies,
Yes.
I think it's time to head to the gym,
Yes.
at least in terms of vocabulary.
Let's do it. I'm seeing words like treadmill, barbells, dumbbells.
Yeah.
Can you give us a little tour of those gym essentials?
Of course, a treadmill is that machine that you can walk or run on inside.
Okay.
It's a good way to get your heart rate up and improve your fitness.
And what about barbells and dumbbells? Those sound kind of scary.
They can look intimidating,
Yeah.
but they're actually really useful for strength training.
Okay.
Barbells are those long metal bars that you put weights on.
Right?
We often use those for exercises like squats and deadlifts.
Oh, okay. So like imagine lifting a really heavy laundry basket.
Exactly.
That's kind of like a barbell.
That's a great way to think about it.
Yeah.
It's using multiple muscle groups to lift that weight.
Right?
Now, dumbbells are those smaller hand weights,
Okay.
and they're really good for working on specific muscles
Okay.
and adding resistance to your workouts.
I'm feeling the burn just talking about this. But before we get too tired talking about vocabulary,
Yes.
I want to talk about a couple of types of exercise that have gotten really popular.
Yes.
Yoga and pilates.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah.
Those are great examples of mind-body exercise that focus on strength and flexibility and being present in your body.
Right.
Yoga is a series of poses and breathing exercises
Okay.
that help you to relax and improve your balance.
So it's not just about being physically fit.
Right.
It's also about mental clarity and de-stressing.
Precisely. Pilots often use special equipment,
Okay.
and it focuses on your core strength and stability.
I've heard that Pilates is really good for your posture
Yes.
and helps to prevent back pain.
That's right.
Okay.
Both yoga and Pilates have a lot of benefits.
Right.
And you can do them no matter your fitness level.
That's awesome. Maybe we need to do another deep dive just on those.
Yes, we could.
But for now, I am curious about some phrases we can use to talk about our health and fitness goals
Oh, for sure.
in everyday conversations.
Yeah, because what's the point of knowing all these words
Right.
if we can't use them?
Exactly.
Right.
So I see phrases like, I'm trying to eat healthier, or consistency is key to staying fit.
Yes, those are great starting points.
Okay.
And you can easily use them in different situations. For
Right.
example, you could say, I'm trying to eat less sugar, or I'm trying to exercise for at least 30 minutes every day.
Yeah, those are perfect. What about some phrases for when we need a little motivation?
Oh yeah, you could say something like, let's get this workout done, or you're doing great, keep going.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
It's like we're building this whole toolbox
Yeah.
of phrases to help us navigate health and fitness in English.
Exactly. And the more you use these phrases, the
Right.
more comfortable you'll become.
Speaking of being comfortable, I think it's also important to talk about some of the health challenges
Yeah.
that people might face
Right.
and how to talk about those in English.
Yeah.
We have words here like obesity, hypertension, and diabetes.
Yeah.
These are kind of sensitive topics.
Yeah.
But understanding them is really important
Yeah.
for being able to talk about health in a well-informed way.
I absolutely agree. So obesity is a medical term that we use when someone has too much body fat,
Okay.
and it can increase the risk of other problems.
Okay, what about hypertension?
So hypertension is the medical term for high blood pressure.
Okay.
It's often called the silent killer
Oh, wow.
because there aren't always symptoms.
And diabetes, I know that affects how the body processes sugar.
That's right. Diabetes is a group of diseases that causes too much sugar to be in the blood.
It's
It's serious and it needs to be managed carefully.
So knowing these terms and understanding these conditions
Yeah.
is so important for taking care of ourselves
Yes.
and supporting others.
Absolutely. It gives us the knowledge to have more meaningful conversations about health
Right.
and advocate for our well-being.
This has been such a helpful conversation, Sarah.
It really has.
I feel like I've gotten so much more fluent
That's
when
awesome.
it comes to talking about health and fitness in English.
I'm so glad to hear that. And remember, learning a language is a journey, not a destination.
Right.
Keep practicing, keep being curious, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
Great advice. So, as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
what are some key things you want our listeners to remember?
We started off talking about well-being and lifestyle,
Yeah.
highlighting that health is more than just physical fitness. It's about making choices that are good for our mental and emotional and social well-being, too.
Right. And we talked about how important it is to build up our immunity,
Yes.
that amazing defense system that keeps us from getting sick.
Exactly. And then we moved on to fitness, covering everything from warming up to cooling down to all the different types of exercise.
Right. Like aerobic and anaerobic.
Yes, exactly.
We even went to the gym,
We
at
did.
least with our vocabulary.
Yes.
We learned about treadmills, barbells, dumbbells.
All those important things. And of course, we couldn't forget nutrition.
Of course not.
We talked about a balanced diet and understanding calories and making good choices when it comes to junk food versus healthy foods.
It's really amazing how much we've covered.
I know it's a lot.
I feel like I could talk about health and fitness in English now.
I love that. And remember, it's not just about knowing the words.
Right.
It's about using them.
Yeah.
We practiced phrases like, I'm trying to eat healthier, and consistency is key to staying fit.
Those are so useful.
Yes, and we even touched on some more serious health conditions like obesity, hypertension, and diabetes. It's so helpful to know those terms.
Yeah.
So we can have better conversations about health.
It really is. A language can really help us take charge of our health.
Absolutely.
This has been such an insightful deep dive, Sarah.
It has.
Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. I always love talking about language and wellness.
And to all of our listeners out there, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into English vocabulary for health and fitness.
Yes, thank you.
We hope you feel more prepared to have conversations about health
Yeah.
and to make good decisions about your own well-being.
And remember, language learning is a journey,
It is.
not a destination.
Keep practicing, stay curious, and don't be afraid to explore those new words and phrases.
Absolutely.
Before we sign off, don't forget to share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel
Yes, please do.
for even more language learning adventures.
We'll be here.
We're always here to help you level up your English.
Exactly. Until next time, stay healthy and keep learning.
Bye, everyone.